Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about Aamc practice problems based on chemistry. So if you look at this question, it is talking about what pair of compound found in table 1 extensive network of intermolecular hydrogen bond with both participating. So basically it is all about hydrogen bonding. So the best way to identify hydrogen bond is when hydrogen is directly linked with fluorine or oxygen or nitrogen. Means when hydrogen is directly connected with either fluorine or oxygen or nitrogen, then it will form hydrogen bond. Okay. So if you look at CH4, because methane is CH4, so you can see here hydrogen is attached with carbon. So it will never form hydrogen bond. So there is no mean to check methanol because both pairs should have hydrogen connected with either fluorine or oxygen or nitrogen. Again, methane here, not possible. Okay, we know that CO2 is carbon dioxide is CO2 and here no hydrogen. So this is wrong. Now option C is only the option which can be correct, but I will cross check as well. Look at the glycine. Glycine structure is this one. And we know that here nitrogen have a hydrogen, carbon 2 hydrogen, and carboxylic also have oxygen with the hydrogen. So you can see here hydrogen is connected with oxygen and nitrogen also connected with hydrogen. So it has two hydrogen bonding centers. So glycine can show hydrogen bond and methanol also you can see. This is methanol and here again hydrogen bonded to oxygen. So glycine and methanol is absolutely perfect. So C is the right choice. Okay. Now the second question. Here we have the concentration of HCl and we have to find out pH. So look at here. We know that HCl is a strong acid. HCl is a strong acid. So the concentration of H plus is 0.01 molar. We can write 0.01 as 1 into 10 to the power minus 2. Or we can write 10 to the power minus 2. So the concentration of HN is basically 10 to the power minus 2. And we know that pH is nothing, it is minus log H plus. So minus log, the concentration of HN is 10 to the power minus 2. And if you have a bit idea about log, you know that log x to the power n is equal to n log x. So here we can say minus, keep minus outside the bracket. And this is log 10 to the power minus 2. So we can say this is minus 2 log 10. And now minus minus is plus. So 2 log 10. We know that log 10 value is 1. So this is 2. So pH is 2. I hope it makes sense. So the right choice is C. Okay, now the next is which of the following compound have the same geometry as methane? So if you have a bit idea about periodic table, you can see here. The question is about methane. So methane basic element is carbon. So look at this carbon and look at the element presence in the same group. Silicon we have, germanium we have. So what does it mean? It means the property of carbon and silicon will remain same. Means if CH4 geometry is suppose tetrahedral, then hydrogen combined with silicon, like suppose I'm saying CH4 have tetrahedral geometry. And if you are going to write SiH4, it also have a same geometry. Okay. So same groups have same physical and chemical property, we can say. So we can say here, now you can see, look at the elements. Here sulfur you have, here carbon you have, here HCF4, here SiCl4. So look at the methane. Methane has CH4, 4 hydrogen, means 4 surrounding elements. And look at silicon. Xenon is not right. Carbon you can think, because carbon is same, but here oxygen and here hydrogen 4. So surrounding atoms are different. Means CO2 just have this connection. Okay. So we have to find 4 single bonds, and SiCl4 have 4 single bond in this way. So we can say it have same geometry, which should be a tetrahedral. So answer should be SiCl4. Okay, same questions again. Oxygen atom is methogenous. Which of the following element can act as an electron acceptor? So look at the oxygen and look at the elements. If you look at the periodic table, below oxygen we have sulfur and this selenium. So now you can see iron is not in the same group of oxygen, hydrogen as well, helium as well, only sulfur. So we can say sulfur. Why? Because they have the lone pairs. Oxygen have 2 lone pairs, so sulfur also have 2 lone pair, and that can be electron acceptor. So answer should be A. Okay, now which of the following, when the caraway seed oil is heated, which of the following 2 component will most likely distill first? Distill first. So one thing is very clear, distill first means, I can write here, distill first means lower boiling point, lower boiling point. And how we can judge boiling point? I can tell you, polar compound have higher boiling points and a non-polar compound have lower boiling point. And polar is very here. If you look at both this, look at this component, carbon and limonene. Here you have a CO center. So CO is always a polar bond because oxygen is more electronegative, carbon is less. So due to presence of this polar group, the carbon is a polar compound. And if it is a polar compound, it means the boiling point is high. So if boiling point is high, then it will not be distilled first. So the answer should be limonene. It have a lower boiling point because of non-polar. And if it is non-polar, it means lower boiling point. So you can see limonene because it has lower boiling point, and that can be distilled first. So answer should be A. The most likely function of the ebullitor is 2. Okay, look at this vacuum fractional distillation apparatus. And I'm going to read the information. So because the 2 compounds very different boiling point, separated by vacuum fractional distillation, an ebullitor was lowered into distillation flask. This is my distillation flask and this is the ebullitor. And is to introduce a small air bubble into the system. So the work function of ebullitor is to introduce air bubble, basically. So this is a basic concept. Air bubble is generally arises it should be used to prevent the superheating of a liquid. So this ebullitor main function is to prevent the superheating. Okay. So option A, keep the condensed vapor cool in the receiving flask. It doesn't make any sense. Promote the stablins at high vacuum in the system. No. Only you can see the C, which given option is prevent superheating of the liquid is to be distilled. So this is basic concept of purification of organic compound through vacuum distillation. The ebullitor function is to only prevent the superheating. Okay. Which of the following experimental modifications will most likely improve the degree of separation between limonene and carbon? Again, if you compare both compound, the difference only in the polarity, you can see. So polar groups have higher boiling point and non-polar have lower boiling point. I can write here, this is polar, so boiling point is high, and this is non-polar, so boiling point is lower. And what is the definition of the boiling point? It is a temperature at which the surface pressure is equal to the atmospheric pressure. Means directly you can compare your boiling point with the temperature. That is the best way to understand this concept. Boiling point is basically connected to temperature or heating, you can say. So this distillation is basically based on polar and non-polar, which means directly you can think about boiling point, and boiling point means temperature. So if you look at all the options, you can see heating the distillation flask at slower rate. Yes, that is the right choice. If you look at B, like using the vacuum source that can achieve a lower pressure inside the distillation apparatus, there is no mean of that. Cooling the condenser, this is absolutely wrong, because I can tell you, if you look at this, this one, this is my receiving flask. Cooling the condenser with ice water. Listen, after separation, the condensation arises. So you cannot say condensation is working during the distillation. So C is absolutely wrong. And using a sorter fractionating column, there is no mean of that. If you are going to sort this length, there is no mean of that, because if you look at the main function of this apparatus is, it is a distillation through boiling point. It is a distillation through boiling point, and boiling point is directly proposed, you can say directly influenced by the temperature. Okay. So I think heating is definitely the major factor here. So I think answer should be A. Now next is, carbon is shown below the certain carbon atom labeled. Plus carbon and minus carbon differ in the orientations of the substituent around which of the following carbon. It is talking about orientations. And in stereochemistry, you know that orientation means stereogenic center or chiral center. Simply you can say chiral center. What is chiral center? Chiral center means any center can be a chiral if it has 4 different connectivity. Suppose this carbon has 4 different connectivity. So we can say this carbon is a stereogenic carbon, which means it has 2 orientations. One is R and one is S. So if you look at this compound, one have no 4 different connectivity. 6 also, because 2 hydrogen is same when you balance. 4 also, 2 hydrogen same. And double bonded center will never be your stereogenic. Stereo center means chiral center. Chiral center only have a single bond and 4 single bond. 4 single bond around any carbon. So third and 2 is wrong. If you look at fifth is absolutely right, because right side is different, left is different, one hydrogen here, and this bottom is absolutely different. I can write here, look at this carbon, this. The right side is CH2 and CO. CH2 and CO. The left side is only CH2. The right side is again carbon with double bond. This is absolutely different. This is different. This is different. And when you balance, there will be a hydrogen as well. So it has 4 different connectivity. So I think carbon 5 is only the carbon. Okay. And here again, we have a question from vacuum distillation apparatus. And this time it is saying if a leak develop in the vacuum distillation apparatus, the boiling point of 2 component of caraway seed oil will. I already told you boiling point means temperature. Temperature here. So what is boiling point? The boiling point is a temperature at which the surface pressure is equal to atmospheric pressure. So if you do a leak, then surface pressure increases, and if surface pressure increases, it means boiling point also increases. So I think the both increases. Okay, the boiling point increases. Okay, passage 3 we will do in the next session. Thank you so much.